speaker's cards from Mr. Eric Brevin, I think it is, on items 1, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So those items will be pulled. Just a minute, just one moment, because we may have some more. 11, 12, 13, and 14. Will you be using the full 3 minutes on each item?
There was also 41. Is that coming later? Yes. I mean, I'll just speak for 3 minutes and try to cover all those items if that's what you'd like. Or I would, I'd prefer, I might need a teeny bit more, but maybe less time. It's up to you.
It's great.
Should I give it a try?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And 41, we're taking out of order, so.
Will I be given time separately on that one?
Yeah.
Just, Mr. Chairman, if I can, since he's going to be speaking to item number 14, I'm recusing myself from this item because of financial interest in Google, which is materially affected by this item, and since he's been speaking to it, I'll be leaving the room.
Are there any other items? Yes, Supervisor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Similarly, I'm recusing myself from item number 14 because of a financial interest in Google, which may be affected by that item.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to also recuse myself on that item. Similar
14?
Interest in Google. Thank you.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, for agenda item number 8,
You'd like to pull 8?
I'm not pulling it. I do not have a financial interest, but I'm required to identify for the record that I'm a board member of the California Air Resources Board, which is involved in this item.
Okay, Mayor Caccioti?
I'd like to pull item number 3 just for a description of the program for the switcher trains. And on item number 4, I may need to ask Kurt a question. Kurt, or the legal department, this involves the air filtration equipment down by the ports of Long Beach. I know it involves also the Attorney General's office. I'm a Deputy Attorney General working for Javier Becerra, so I don't know if I need to recuse myself from this issue. That'd be item number 4, the transfer funds for the installation of air filtration systems. The Attorney General just negotiated the SEEP with that company, so I'm not sure if I need to recuse myself from that one or not. I wouldn't think so, because it's, but I just wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean, the easy thing to do is to recuse yourself. I think you've already announced your interest, so.
Okay, I'll recuse. Thank you, Kurt.
Good. Thank you for being so patient and waiting.
It's my pleasure.
Mr. Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have Wayne.
Staff wanted to pull item 27B, attachment 5, the South Coast SCAQMD position on cap and trade reauthorization, and I can discuss that.
27?
Yes.
B5.
C5.
Is it
okay.
B5 or C5? B.
It's attachment 5 at 27B.
Okay.
Okay. I tried to get you in before, and now I got you in.
Are there any other comments?
No, I think that's it.
I just have one final question, which is, because I've never been to this meeting, I do have a general public comment. Is that a separate matter completely?
You have a what?
General public comment for this body, things that are under their not necessarily under their jurisdiction, but under their
That'll
jurisdiction.
come under public comment.
Okay, fine. That's coming later in the meeting?
Yes.
Fine, fair enough. Okay, well, what an exciting opportunity to come before this hallowed body. Of course, I know Supervisor Kuehl and Mr. Buscaino, and I'm pleased that so many have come forward with the Google recusal. I think it shows that there's an attentiveness to those conflicts. Although I don't quite understand the scope of anybody's holding, it is interesting to note. And YouTube obviously is a great tool for getting outreach, and I think we have a lot of good messaging to work on in this group. And so you're spending $250,000 with YouTube to do that. It's owned by Google. I'm not sure why we would recuse on something like that versus other things, but it is good to see that we're doing it. I wanted to also comment on the increase in compensation, item 13, for the hearing officers. I think it's important to do that. I was understanding that it's something like $300 and something thousand increase or some sort of a cost overall for the board, and that the total costs are under $1 million for these hearings, where we have hearings, I guess, in front of this body. It's a relatively small amount of money, but they're robust increases for the hearing officers. So hopefully this will help retain them, I guess. That's the idea. I noticed that, are these full-time hearing officers? It doesn't sound like they're in constant hearing, yet they're making a very nice wage. So I think kudos on that. And I know that you're going to be amending the meal reimbursement provisions in your code, which also I think are going to bring it into kind of the travel. You do a very good job of disclosing where you're going. So kudos on that. And item 11 is about extending some contracts and amending some contracts. And when you have panels of contracts of firms that you work with exclusively, it's good to still call it, rather than just amend them and elongate them, but to have RFPs. And I know you have a provision for doing that, and I've been following a little bit. You seem to do a good job. And I think it's important to hear from the public on all of these items, which I know this body has been focused on. And last week I read in the newspaper, the last meeting in June, there was a kerfuffle down here, and the body kind of reacted by suggesting some changes to the rules for engagement with the public. And I would just caution about moving in the direction of shortening the time, because these are complicated matters. And this body in particular handles a lot of technical details. No, I'm going to speak on that in item 41, right?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to reference that these items that I'm talking about today are the kinds of items where vigilance and attention are so important for this body to be able to do its job effectively. And I know that the whole point is really to reflect, the public's interest, even though you're all appointed by various ways. And there are allegations, which I'm not studying at the moment, that, that these kinds of small recusals have nothing to do with the larger conflicts that may exist with the way things are funded. But let's move forward, and I appreciate your taking the time to hear from the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your testimony. Are there any further comments on